You're welcome to Quarter Past 65,
Thank you
sir.
very much. Thank you, Stella.
Sir,
Nice to be with you.
thank you, sir. Our first question to you is this. Growing up, how would you describe the role of the elderly in the society? What were their inputs? What did people think about older people? And then today, what is the difference? Would you please trace a comparison for us?
Thank you very much. This is a very difficult question because one will not know where to divide them or where to identify them. Yeah, either you are old man growing up or you're a civil servant working on pension. So there are a variety of old people, as you described sometimes. They are the pensioners, they are the people who resigned from the job they were doing before, either because they are no longer able to cope. So people are in various societies. They are the politicians. But when you are talking about older people at that time, in Nigeria, I was born into, I can look back into 1951, that there were no old people. Dr. Namdi Azikwe, the politicians, Chief of Efemi Awolowo, Sadana Sokoto, Aminu Kano, they were all young men in their 30s and 40s. So when you are talking about politicians that are old, you may not be able to find something like a King Badu with them, and they may say those people are old and so on. But the civil servants, they were in their mid 50s, waiting for retirement at the age of 60. And you have the businessmen in private businessmen. It was in this category. It was obvious to see a good number of older people. And particularly among the women. And because some of us were very much identified with old women when we were growing up. Our mothers were farmers, were traders, and so on. And I remember we used to follow our mother, myself and JP, when we were young. They go to, at that time, trade was like butter. At that time, they go to the joy areas, street, Tugbane, go to the Tugbane, Ojobo, Izetu, and all those brass, and so on. What did we take them? Our mother, we take farina, cassava, starch, and gari, sometimes yam. Then in return, they were not paying good money, doing fish. And now compare. So, okay, you take this trade by butter. I saw that myself. And we used to eat food, cook overnight, and because the cook when we are paddling and
Paddling.
so on. Then I remember too when I was growing up, I saw men paddling along the river Niger to Boru, Abo, Utu, Indoni, when I was taking with my father. This was as far back as 1942,
40s, yes.
40s, and so on. We're very young. But I remember families like the Amatas, John Amata, and so on. The father was also a trader, old man. And John, some of them went, they need Memorial Grammar School.
Okay.
Some of us were still in primary school. Then we had other people like that. So that's what the life. And you see these old men, particularly when it comes to area called Utuako, Uboru, Utu, and other places there, they have this small canoe. Old men, elderly men, after going to fishing, they put the canoe on their shoulder.
Wow, a whole
Yes,
canoe?
real canoe. Wow, yes. Saw that myself. Then you see elderly people whose duty was to serve God. I know there was a village near to Umoru, Kolosese, an Isoko village. And they used to sing these Christian songs in Isoko, and we used to go and watch and sing them. They were pastors, older men, the job. So there was no useless old man in that time.
Wow.
I want to emphasize that. Everybody was busy.
Yes.
You are either a fisherman or you are a helper to that to the fisherman. You are either a palm producer, or you are a rubber tapper. So there was nobody who was without a job. So if you compare the older men of the 1940-45 and with one you have now, it's a sorry for God. Today we have older men. Out of hunger, they become older. Out of poverty, they become older. And what again? They want to marry women they cannot cater for. And look at the other day in Kwara, Kwara, but a week ago, where one woman delivered 11 children last week. Two died and nine are surviving. Was asking for help. But it's not a problem. She's not to blame. That's God's work. But what I'm saying is that um, how the older men now we're talking about, they are majority of them are lazy. Lazy in the sense that some of them work for government and on pension they never plan for it. What would they do? Early morning, sit down with a cup of tea, drink, wait for food to come. If you have a good wife, you're lucky. And those people it doesn't take them long time to grow older. They have no other job. Never prepared for it. Meanwhile, the pension this man worked for, which he should use and enjoy himself, he hasn't got it. Has not been paid. Politicians are dancing here. They're stealing their money. So that's the way I look at it. Growing up, look at the older men. The old men of our time, when we were young, were active, responsible citizens, honest citizens of their own country.
And they're engaged with the
They
society.
go in society. Let me give you an example. Community will meet at the town hall, except a decision only God can stop. They will take it. If it means killing anybody, they will kill him lawfully for doing wrong. I give you an example. In those days, I wasn't born. My great grandfather, one of the wealthiest men, without being modest, in Nigeria at the time, big business merchant. He has two intelligence reports, which I have in my book, autobiography, totally frank. One of them in 1923, it was reported that traders, merchants in Sapele, cocoa, and surrounding, Brutu, and so on, complained to the government that they were not making profit. But my great grandfather, I'm quoting the intelligence report, had a sheep. First of all, he hired from the John Oath,
Mm.
but later paid in cash. And evidence of that is seen in my village because the the boiler is still there, and some pipes are still there. He would load his boat, his ship, with palm oil, palm produce, everything. Then he would put canoes tied to them, 7, 8, with people, human beings, passengers from the creek to Lagos. So they went to Accra.
Mm.
My father was a purser. Purser, you don't collect money.
Money, yes.
So that was he put a law in the community that this defecating outside
Mhm.
should be stopped. This water is what we drink,
Yes.
which nobody should defecate in the river. So the town people said, okay. So they were not happy because they have no toilet where they would go. So one day there was jubilation somewhere in one quarter. What is going on? He said back then most brother had defaulted the law. He had been caught splitting in the
River.
river. They turned and said, we will see what we do.
Mm.
He said he's a strong man, he's a wealthy man, and so on. So the town gathered in the town hall to decide. Let me tell you, our people historically or politically who used to be called the Oil River Protectorate.
Yes.
This was created by the British government in 1884. It was ratified in 1885 by the Berlin Conference in Berlin. It was in about 1900 the British government brought us into Nigeria, southern Nigeria. We were never part of Nigeria.
Mm.
We were wealthy people. The boy of Navy, powerful people. King Nana, Chief Nana, about Koko, the kid man. We fought expedition with the white man in 1892. Was their best trader, but they said they want to go into the interior. The man said, no,
No.
we will sell to you. Then the same thing, the Numan betrayed him. The same thing happened to the Baverami in 1897
Jaja.
when Captain Philip came to attack him and he killed all of them. Then King Jaja Popobo. So what am I saying? We have been civilized people. So coming back to what I was telling you, the gold community gathered. The back then were walking to me. They sat down. Everybody sat down. Then the town crier had returned. So they brought back that. The spokesman took over. Say yes. Our big chief who gave order on so date for nobody to excrete in public in the river. But someone has done it. But unfortunately, it's the brother of the
The one who gave the
who
order.
gave the order. But the brother must then stood up. Said, yes, he has committed an offense. The fine he was to pay,
Yes.
I double it.
Mm.
He's going to pay it. That's how that law keeps to stay in
To be
Capital
established.
today.
Mm, mm.
So our people, we comparing our older men, elderly men of those days, they're nowhere.
Why would you say that? What happened? What happened? Why were the older men so much revered in times
They
past?
were working. A lazy man, the lazy man. What in Nigeria today? The government cannot provide everything for everybody. There are too many lazy Nigerians. A Nigerian will marry 10 wives when he knows he has no money. They found in one man the other day 20 children in one mother house. You're talking about when the population will go to this. No. Man, Nigerians are not working. They are not farming. There are excuses here and there. And because the governors or whoever is authority has not provided sufficient
Social services.
services for them, they are nowhere. So, as I tell you, I can I can say it anywhere that the elderly statesman, the elder statesman of the 1940, when I was a young man, and the elder statesman of today are different in the sense that the man, elderly man, was always occupied with labor, was a strong man, dedicated, responsible family man. Everybody, nobody sits down in the house. You are a fisherman in the bush, or so. So, let me give you an example. Things that happened at that time are not happening now.
Yes.
In 1942, I was in standard 2 or 3, we used to have medical doctors, what do you call them? Floating hospital, or what name they call them. They will come to every school, inspect everybody who will come out. They will examine you. After some time, if you are sick, put aside. They have their medicine and so on. Do you know some of those doctors, Dr. Doherty, Dr. William, Dr. This man who used to be Dorothy, this man who used to be Major General Adefope,
Adefope,
who used to
yes.
be doctor.
And in
Let me tell you,
avocados.
could you imagine? We're talking about age
Yes.
and so on. 1975, when I was appointed Minister of Information and was to be sworn in, one of the men, Major General, who was to be sworn in as Minister of Health, was a Dr. Dorgu. When I was at the age of 14, he was coming to my school from Focados. So I went to him. I said, "Sir, young man, And say, why did you leave? Say, are you not a medical doctor? Say, yes. You used to come from Bocados with a lodge with medical people, visit your brother, but I did the authority school, go to Kubana, go to Jogo. So I said, you mean it. And you are here with me as a fellow minister. So that's about how I round up about this, the difference between the old people of those times and what we are.
But there's one question,
Yes.
or one saying that I've heard you say several times. You said anybody who doesn't listen to his father will never be successful. And we want to add to it the fact that there's this adage which says, what the old man sees sitting down, the young man may not even be able to see it from the tree top.
Well, the same thing I've said, because the elderly men at the time we were young, when we were growing up, took care of their children. They disciplined them. Some of us in school, you can't go out on your own. You have no right to say that you are going out with some boys. Father will. And up to one at a certain age. My father's wife, one of my father's I call her Julie, used to cut my hair, our hair, the children used to cut our hair. And we'll be crying and when we cut. Then when we want to eat, my father was a big man. See, everybody, all of us. He has 7 wives. We have the woman, bring your food. We eat the food together. Everybody will take fish, put it in his hand. You don't want to take another man's fish. How to tell those stories. Old stories that happen that will encourage you to be a good man. And that this thing don't behave like this. Don't do this. Don't go to people's wives. Don't steal. Like to teach us like that. And I know that will happen in quite a number of other families. So what I said that you must listen to your father. But the children of nowadays, they no longer listen to their fathers. One, you can blame them because their fathers have nothing to offer to them now. The place stood 5 years ago. They're selling the father's house 18. They have nothing to. So that my statement is true, but to some extent. But now, a father must be in a good position to give an advice to his children. Practice what he preach.
That goes into the next question I want to ask. What propelled you? You painted some very good picture about, growing up, the family ties, the family values. What propelled you to be this successful, even as you grew up in the rural areas?
God, number one. My family background. I was born, in 1927, 25th May, in my mother's village. In those days, when a woman is pregnant, and if you want to have your baby, that baby must be got in your mother's house. So you leave your husband These are more they are doing Mongo. They started it long ago. In those days,
Omugo.
Mongo, the woman leaves her husband to come and stay with her mother and grandmother to look after the children. So in my own case, I was born in a room and my mother's town, near to Jeremy. I can go to worry there. And JP was born there, Professor JP Clark. B.A. Clark was born there. My sister Koshare was born there. And my mother's last born, Professor C.C. Clark, medical doctor, was born there. So our mothers took care of us. And when our grandmother died, we were staying with our uncle, Ogul, my mother's eldest brother, good fisherman. We would go in the night to kill fish. Then my duty was always to go and carry fish from the canoe in the morning when he returns. So one day I went to the waterside. The fish was many. One of them was not dead. So I started playing with it. And it fell back into the water and went away. So I started crying. Until my uncle came to the waterside. Said, "What are you crying?" I said, "The fish." "So is that why you are sitting here? Tomorrow I'm going to catch that very fish for you." This is how life leads. Discipline and not killing you, not shouting at you. And they have a pattern of life which everybody in the family must follow as a tradition. That's how we grew up. Then we went to, when my uncle died, my father said, "Enough is enough. You people go and stay with your grandmother, his own mother, at the Fruto."
Why not come back to stay with him?
Well, that is life, part about life in those days. That's how discipline came in. This is a very busy man going to buy goods and so on. What am I going to do with children? So he sent us to our grandmother's place, Umukoko, in the Fronto, and we lived with her. Our school, African Church School, had only one teacher teaching all the classes.
Wow.
And we left there. Our teacher, Tomtiso Kitikwi, called me one day, said, "Kiabodo Clark." That was my name. Said, "Kiabodo is very difficult for him to pronounce. Edwin Clark." So he gave Edwin Clark to me. Then he called another brother of mine, Edwin Clark. "From today, you are Godfrey Clark." Then he called Ambassador B.A. Clark. Blessing, then I borrowed it then. Then he said, "You are blessing." Professor J.P. Clark. He said, "Pepe, you are Johnson." John, now we short it to. So we lived that simple life. Then our father sent us to Okreka Native Authority School. 4 of us. We were very young. We were cooking for ourselves. In the weekend, our mothers will prepare grounded pepper in bottles, a good seed in bottle, everything in bottle. Then they will come, cook, bring to us in Africa. Break firewood in Kiabodo to bring them to Africa.
All the way from
All the way.
to
We were young.
Africa.
I was 12 or so. And I was the oldest. And we were cooked. Our father gave us one yekbe, chief yekbe. He had no child, but he had a strong, very good disciplinarian. He said, "Look, my children are not staying with you. Give them a house to stay." That's how we were very trained. So, this is how, when we stand, myself and one of my brothers were taken to Akugbane Native Authority School because Africa was downgraded. My brother ran away to Kabudo, that Professor J.P. Clark. My father nearly killed him.
Mm.
And the woman who brought him, he asked the woman to take him back to Africa. So that was discipline everywhere. Oh, that is the how we grew up.
Recently,
Yes.
there was this protest that never really succeeded in Nigeria. Protest that was to have started from the 1st of August to the 10th of August. The government called different groups, traditional rulers, church, Muslim, clergy. They never really brought the women together, but they talked about the youth. But one thing that was noticeably absent was that there were no elders that were gathered to discuss the issue. Remember what we said about how elders used to have input into what went on in the community. Why would you say that that was done, where elders were not called until the patriots on their own, who have been elder statesmen? That was very recent, yes.
Let me tell you one thing. You are in Nigeria. You have been a public servant. Tell me an elder who has a job of his own and not politics. All our elders, as I said, we are lazy people that compared with the elders of the church we knew when we were young. When you have no voice, the children you train from university, they are at home. What advice are you going to give them? Who are you going to gather? Particularly, I was in London at the time. They told me not to come. I said, I must go to my village, to my home. I returned on the 29th. Then this thing happened on that first. The number of soldiers in Abuja alone was enormous. Let me say that. There's no politician, including Tinubu, who has not demonstrated against wrong government. He, in 2012, when Jonathan removed this same oil subsidy, January, he mobilized people. He sponsored the demonstration to Kanify Miss Center. Then I gathered people from the south to counter it. Now that why is it now regarding it as an offense to demonstrate against the evil committed against you? Who said that that's unlawful? It's not unlawful. So the elders are coming back to the elders. I've told you just now the difference between the elders of the old and the elders. Those were useful people, hardworking people who had thoughts of their own and so on. But today, the elders we have now in Nigeria, they are politicians. Hang on. They have nothing doing. Nobody can speak. So one will go from here, talk to Tinubu today, will go and talk to Atiku tomorrow. So Nigeria is safe. It's a terrible country now. We must save it. But these elders, they're the patriots. These were educated people who have held various positions in
In the
Nigeria and
country.
abroad.
Yes, yes.
Must you have a voice like that before you speak in your community? In your village community, must you be an educated man before you do that?
No.
They ring a bell early in the morning. Everybody must gather. Speak your mind. Make laws.
Many people have talked about the non-existence of social services in Nigeria. Perhaps we're looking at the models of more advanced countries where, like you said earlier, pensioners got their money. There was no hiding that fact. People got their monies in their mailboxes and so on. But that is not the case in Nigeria. At 97, how have you been able to cope, especially with health issues?
Why, let me say this to you. My case is a different case. Special case. I have every reason to thank the Almighty God for keeping me alive, keeping me thoughtful, eh? Speaking the truth where possible. So, in my own case, I'm an independent man. And I have a family background I described to you earlier.
Yes.
Today, I'm the head of the Pakistan family.
Yes.
So apart from what God had done for me by what my ancestors, my great fathers, what I copied from them, spiritually or so I'm a special man. I thank
By the
God.
grace of God.
So you cannot compare me with the other Nigerians.
Mm. But there are so many people. The reason why we are talking about health is that
So
health.
talking about health.
Yes.
Talking about health. I have always had doctors. Even in Lagos, in Abuja here, I have doctors. Yesterday evening, 3 doctors came to me from different hospitals. The neurologist came to see me, my bladder, everything. The nephrologist came to see my kidney. Then general doctor, or something, what they call them,
General practitioner.
practitioner,
Physician.
came to look at me. So I take in a day, take about 20 drops every time. I don't miss them. And let me tell you, when I was coming from London, I go to the airport, can't walk. I said, Nigerians, that is still now, you are not well to go, and apart from that, look at this demonstration. I said, shut up. I'm going to my home. I said, but how are you going to go now? So I bought one wheelchair when I got there, which moved me around everywhere. So that one took me to the airport. But I was fancy. These people will not allow this my wheelchair to be taken to the plane. How do I enter the plane? Then the Nigerian High Commission official, protocol officer, Mohammed, who came to take me to the airport, then went around everywhere. Just now my luggage have been checked in. Then they brought gadgets on my wheelchair. So this will take you to the comfort VIP. So when I was coming, I said, how do I go? So they were ruling me, they said nothing will happen. As we were going, 4 young men came, greeted me, better peoples and Yorubas and so on. Said, are you Edwin Clarkson? He said, we heard that you are here, that's why we are coming to greet you. We've been talking about you. We wish there are so many like you in Nigeria. And we work here in the Heathrow airport. We're engineers. And that you are complaining how you can go home. We'll take you up the world. They took my wheelchair. They rolled me. I don't know whether I was slept up, I don't know. Then be nothing. Daddy, you are in the plane now. They put you inside the plane. They even belt you. I look at it, it was true. That's how I came home. But Nigeria, we have no focus. Come back this way, we have no focus. As I said, you are talking about old men and so on. The president, elder statesmen, elder men, old men in Nigeria are jobless and focused. They follow, and so on. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
You have said that, and we thank God for it, that you're a very special person. God has kept you to this point. And so you're able to take care of your health needs.
I'm doctors.
But there are so many who cannot access health. Is there anything that you think that the government will do for these people, both in the rural and the urban areas?
That is the responsibility of government. Social service, they're providing these things. And first and foremost, these are the things, first and foremost, these are the things any government should establish for the welfare of its own people under Section 144 of the Constitution. The welfare and security of the people. They are not taking care of it. One would have expected in Nigeria, when you're on pension, after 60, 65, or 70, there must be some facilities that provided for old people, social services. There must be things you don't buy, supplied to you in your house, the people supply them. But in a corrupt country like Nigeria, where the rich wants to be rich more and more, where it steals the money belonging to the community, including the people you are saying that they have not. So, Nigeria is not thinking about social service. One, even there is one, they will misuse it, corruption. I remember during Jonathan's time, even on President Joe, they had some talk of social service. They chop all the money, the women they chop all the money. So Nigeria nothing works. Even if government has the money to do that, it's not their priority. So any country that can provide for
social
services in this country, yes, history. You may go and imagine to my friend quickly. You travel free because you have history.
Yes.
Nigeria, you will continue to pay. So So Nigeria has not got to that stage. We're a country that cannot take care of itself, its own people.
At 85,
95.
no, at 85, you started the Edwin Kiaglu
Okay.
University. Today, like I said in the opening, you're still the chancellor. What is it that keeps you going?
God and with determination to survive. I sit down, if I sit down, I'm not talking to you. If I'm alone here, the daughter is here, that's why she can't leave me. She's my brain. She's my brain. I will be writing. If you are not, I will be writing. Or I will be dictating. I read 8 newspapers every day.
Yes.
Read 8 newspapers every day. And I reply to people.
Correspondences.
I have research. I have people who do research for me.
Yes.
So, that's what is keeping me alive. And I eat good food.
Good.
Number 2, I lived a good life in a good house, good home, sleep well. I go to England and pay so much. I live not that their bed not as good as my bed. Yeah, in Nigeria. So I'm comfortable, I'm fulfilled. But one thing I should know now that I've asked myself, what else do I want that God has not given to me?
That's a grateful heart, sir.
I went to London recently on Monday morning. 2:30 was in London. It's a big place for me, very good accommodation. On Wednesday, then my children were trimming, but only 1 or 2 I had informed. Within a short time,
They were all there.
but grandson, grandchildren, and my own children, about 25 of them
Wow.
were there. Everybody eating and drinking, and with their children, those crying, and so on. So I said, what else do I want? I'm in London, I'm not in Nigeria. So I may fulfill my one. Do not keep and hate people.
Do not keep what?
Hate people.
Do not hate people.
Love
Love
your neighbor. Have the spirit of forgiveness. You talk about it, about Cairo University.
Yes.
I did not start with Cairo University. I remember during the war, Civil War, all our students were driven from the north, from the west, and from the east. We had no university. They were roaming around. So what do? So we said the government said we should establish MIT, Midwest Institute of Technology. The one granted it. So we said, okay. We started it. And converted the Marriott College into university campus.
Marriott.
Marriott College. Then we started to look forward. The governor passed a bill, an edict into law, appointing me as the sole administrator of the university. I employed people and so on.
So to replicate it in Kiagudu.
As I was telling you, today, University of Benin It's my baby.
Yes.
I've written a book on it.
Your brainchild.
Now, about 5 years ago, or 3, the university brought to me that the, the governing council and the university, they've decided to name the faculty of management sciences after me.
Congratulations, sir.
So I sent Osumbo, former governor
Professor
of,
Osumbo.
Professor Osumbo, former governor of Edo State, to go and present me. So I was the first pro chancellor of the university, Federal University of Technology in Mina. I opened it. The faculty of engineering named after me. Now coming back home, I sat down one day. I never wanted private schools. I was one of those in those days. But I've now discovered that when my children went abroad, they have what's called public schools, secondary school, public primary school, then they have the university. But I discovered that the private school, which they called public schools at that time, were stronger, more reputable than the government ones. So when I saw the new university, Benedio de la
Okada.
so I said to myself, what heritage would I leave behind? Is it to now class and talking of class with argue someone? He has made statement, is that the legacy? I said, no. I've been an educationist. I've produced professors. I taught in school. So, why can't I open a university where I would be able to draw in very young children from all over the country, come to my village, live together, study together, pass out together as good citizens of the country. Yesterday, somebody was telling me that 2 of my students who studied law, there's one teacher in the school who loved the students so much, is part of it. She just passed her PhD. So telling me about her good work. He said she took 2 of them to go to Sabbath to marry. Big occasion. So that shows that they dropped themselves. So today I've sent out 2 sets of lawyers.
Law students.
From Edwin class, some made second class, upper first class, and so on. So what am I looking for? So that's why I founded that university.
And that's
Not that I'm gaining 1 couple.
It's a befitting legacy.
A befitting legacy with the lower fees, and I gave scholarship to some of the students. So that's the legacy I leave behind.
Apart from the values and the love that you have taught your children. Now, sir, what's your favorite food?
I eat a lot. I eat a lot. Eat the wool. That's what I ate last night. Eat banga.
Starch.
Then I eat kodo. That's every Sunday. I must eat kodo. They used to join me every Sunday. We used to kodo together.
What's your favorite book?
No, I don't have that many. Is it Churchill books? Or whose? Or Shakespeare? No, I've seen so many books written by prominent authors. Is it in literature where my brother
Background,
was?
okay, yes, J.P. Clark.
So I've seen it all.
What about your holiday spot? What's your favorite holiday spot in Nigeria or abroad?
Nigeria, which holiday? Live in Nigeria, don't go anywhere. I only travel to England because there are some special treatment you want to have that are not available in Nigeria. Like best maker. But 3 years I didn't go to England. And the batteries were going down. So that's why I went. But when they told you, I said, say your batteries are still there. So 90 of them are still there. Strong. And when I was leaving, my consultant, Dr. Sharpner, said, Steve, let me pray for you. This pacemaker we have done today, you will die with it at the age of 110.
Amen. Amen.
So,
Amen.
I thought, my home in Nigeria is my home.
Yes.
I feel very uncomfortable in other countries. They don't recognize me.
No.
I don't recognize them. So,
what about your favorite Nigerian song? I know you love to sing, and we would love to hear you sing one song.
You want to? Which one do I remember?
The wondrous cross on which the King of glory died. The sin I count but loss, I confess on all their pride. Now let's have a native song. We have had a wonderful time talking with you about the past and the legacy that you hope to bequeath for the future generation. Thank you for joining today's episode of 65. Kindly follow us on our social media handles, #QP65. Leave a comment, leave your suggestions, leave your ideas on what topics you would want us to cover in future episodes. Your thoughts and inputs are invaluable to us. Bye for now.